The Sports Ball Stuff podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Sports Ball Stuff with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the major sports stories that intrigue us and the little stories that enrage us.
I fucking hate Brian Kelly. Okay, so let's just recap the past 6 weeks of LSU football. And let me pull up the schedule here.
If you want to hurt yourself, go for it.
And it's not just I want to hurt myself. I want to eviscerate this cocksucker.
Wait. Let me just preface this again, as always, from somebody who knows Brian Kelly very well. Notre Dame, as to many people's chagrin, of course, they lost one game this year, granted to a much lower group, but they have been eviscerating every team that they played since.
Consistency. And I don't give a fuck about your schedule.
No.
Okay, but they're not playing a cupcake special.
No.
So here we go.
Notre Dame never gets that. And this year the Armed Forces teams are good.
Yeah. So. It sucks that USC's terrible. LSU also. All right, here we go.
Exactly.
Last 3 games. We go to Texas A&M and get embarrassed. Okay. Then have a bye week.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, no, that is okay. Yeah, for your second loss of the season, we will...
At Texas A&M with the 12th man.
Okay, fine. You're still control your fucking destiny in the SEC.
Yeah.
Biggest game of the year after a bye week. You get 2
Alabama?
weeks in a row. You get Alabama with a live tiger on the field that doesn't kill anybody, and you lay the biggest fucking egg I have seen LSU lay in a minute, and we have lost some bad games. But this, at night, Tiger Stadium, your biggest rival, you win, and you are as close as you can get to the playoffs in the SEC championship game, and you come out...
Well, I was going to say, where it's like, even as a coach, you win that game, even if you don't go do well, if you beat your rival
at home, convincingly, and have a chance at the SEC title game and the playoffs, cool.
How do you think Steve Spurrier lasted so long?
As flat as pissing on a china plate. This fucking cocksucker shit the bed. Fine, it's Alabama, whatever. Okay, let's regroup and we'll go to Florida, a mediocre team, and we'll win, and we'll feel better about it.
Wait. Real quickly, that argument doesn't hold against Alabama. Now, granted, you're still dealing with Saban recruits, but the coaching staff shifted a little bit.
Again,
you have been established. Brian Kelly has been established in LSU for 3 years. You should have your final coaching staff. You should have your playbook.
I think Brian Kelly, when he was hired, he was like, give me 3 years, and then I will have my people in here, my coaching staff in here, my recruits in here.
Yeah.
I will have built a shit show.
Yeah.
Of a culture here. So then he follows that up, and he goes to Florida.
Yeah.
A 5-win team and loses. They're not going to win 10 games this year. You know what that means? That is your fucking first-class ticket out of Baton Rouge.
It should be, yeah.
The second thing is, the day after Sunday, I started seeing rumblings. We lost a recruit to Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. And we're starting to see guys who have committed to LSU. And I'm talking 4 or 5-star guys.
Yeah.
Top 100 recruits nationally waiver on commitments.
Yeah.
You lose your job. If you can't keep a kid who's born and raised in Louisiana and is a 4-star recruit, he better be playing at LSU. And if he's not, you fucking suck. You suck dick. Oh my God, I hate that man.
Towards the end of his tenure at Notre Dame, he was losing Midwestern recruits to, at the time, Michigan was not that good. Michigan State. Again,
if you say Indiana, I'm gonna throw up.
No. But like Purdue, he was losing to Purdue. He was losing them to Ohio State. Was understandable because it's Ohio State.
Yeah.
But you're going like if you can't like. But to your point, if you can't recruit in your backyard, and also too, I mean that even under his tenure. If you can't get the best out of Catholic schools across the country, then and you're losing Catholic recruits to Boston College or just going to any other university,
right?
Like that's not good. And so that's why when he dipped on Notre Dame, nobody was like, "Oh no." It was
he could dip on LSU tomorrow.
It was like, "Oh please don't go." Oh okay. And
it's the guy. Don't hold me back. Don't hold me back.
And again is that I love you talking about this because and as much as people want to make some drama out of it, Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman are good.
Yeah,
he's creating a wonderful, positive culture there.
Correct.
Where we're starting to take recruits away from other people.
Go ahead, because I've got
and
counter arguments to all the people who shit on Notre Dame about not being in a conference and having a
and I get
schedule.
that,
but
I get it, and
you still have to recruit. Kids
correct,
want to play in the Power 5 conferences, right?
Right.
Kids want to be on national television. Like, okay, Notre Dame's not in a conference. Yes, they're on national television a lot, but
almost all the time.
well, I mean, they have a contract with
well,
NBC.
but even when they're on the road, they're on
still
national television. Yeah.
So I mean, you've got to balance all that. LSU, powerhouse in the South.
Correct.
SEC, like you've got it all.
One of my favorite things that
I hate that man.
When I saw the score, of course, I just jumped on Twitter and was like, Brian Kelly. One of my favorite things that I saw on Twitter was Jerry DiNardo greater than Brian Kelly, which is
correct.
I loved because I remember the Jerry DiNardo years at LSU. Which was, I
lived through that.
Thematic of the SEC back then. Like the SEC was like, Spurrier had had a couple of good years, but Florida wasn't dominant.
Well, like I said, they went through their run.
Alabama was the only school, whereas you had the Gene Stallings year, and they ran rampant on the SEC.
Correct. Georgia was not Georgia.
No.
LSU was Jerry DiNardo.
Yeah.
This was before the SEC was the SEC.
SEC,
we
correct,
might as well have been
yeah.
the Big 12 at that point.
Big 12 was better.
Oh, right. They had Nebraska and shit.
And Oklahoma, yeah.
They were way better.
But yeah, it's and not that I mean honestly, like I don't want to shit on LSU, but I do love shitting on Brian Kelly because I lived through 10 years of that, and
you mean to tell me I've got 7 more years of Brian Kelly?
No, I don't think so. But
it's 4 years of Trump.
But here's the deal with that is that if LSU ends up dumping him and buying out the rest of his contract,
it's like
that's
$80 million.
Yeah, and you're still paying Coach O, right? So
that was terrible.
So at this point,
that whole situation was terrible. Good for Coach O for winning a national championship at LSU. Great, but that whole contract situation was shit.
No, I get that. Yeah,
terrible. Brian Kelly.
So
giving him
boosters and alumni really need to look at the athletic department or at least a football portion of that at LSU, being like, you got to stop doing this shit.
Yep.
Which again, and one of the best arguments I think I've heard is,
go ahead.
You're talking about a dude who was born in Massachusetts and has been doing football in the Midwest before he comes down here. He doesn't understand, and like you were talking about the Saints, he doesn't understand the culture. That's what I love about what Notre Dame is. Marcus Freeman is not a Notre Dame alum, which again, that's always a positive. And then he's not Catholic.
Juventus has that problem.
He's not a Catholic, which is also a positive because then you're not tied to. You can embrace what the college gives, but you're not tied into it.
Yep.
But he is a Midwestern kid. He was an Ohio State linebacker.
Oh, really? Ohio
Yeah.
State? Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But Notre Dame, he worked his way in through the Brian Kelly administration, but
Yeah.
worked his way up.
Was he a quarterbacks coach at one point?
No, linebackers. He's been all
Just
defense.
strictly linebackers?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
And
For some reason, I don't know why I thought he was on the offensive side of the
no. He was like linebackers coach, and he was the defensive coordinator. Yeah. And then, but now he's the dude that attends seminars that Saban gives and that Belichick gives, and he's learning all about managing a culture and an environment versus
it's funny
versus I'm going to sit there on the sideline and scream at you and say you're uncoachable. Like, that's your fault, Brian Kelly. You stated, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get pissed on this point. One of his reasons when they were like, why did you dip out on Notre Dame? He was like, Notre Dame had too high of academic standards. You picked this. You went to an SEC school because you wanted lower academic standards by one argument that you made. And then now you set no standards for your players.
Nope, none.
So when you yell at a kid on the sidelines of you're uncoachable, that's the culture you created at a school that had a solid football culture.
And LSU has always been known as flamboyant
players.
Like players who are willing to, point guns at you on the football field.
All right, sure, yeah.
I mean, look at Odell Beckham. Chase, even Joe Burrow smoking fucking cigars and pointing at rings. Like, LSU has a reputation of that. Like, of course. What do you not expect that coming in here, Brian Kelly?
Well, and that...
How the fuck do you not know? Yeah. Fuck him.
Money.
I was okay if he could recruit, because sometimes talent will win in spite of its coach. But you are now losing talent. You need to get the fuck away from this school.
Yeah. Or
get the fuck.
Or retool your thinking
Ole Miss
quickly.
is better than us right now, and that is completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
Unfucking acceptable.
I'm trying to, you all would have to poach one of the dudes from like Army or Navy at this point, because
I don't know where we go.
If you can recruit at Army and Navy, you can recruit anywhere.
We need
that's all the college game is. Yeah. You can hire coordinators and play designers this way and that.
That's what I said. Talent will more than likely win out unless your head coach is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And not having a team motivated to play Alabama at night at home and then go...
With a live tiger on the field?
Who didn't murder anybody. And then follow that up, that ass-kicking up...
Delusion the swamp.
Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Where's Notre Dame at right now? I haven't even looked at the AP top 25. I hope LSU.
Well, because we got to wait till tomorrow to do the
actual.
Notre Dame's still number 8.
How did they not move?
Because again, Power 5 conferences are always considered.
So read the top 10.
Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana is at 5, BYU at 6, UT, Tennessee at 8 or at 7, Notre Dame, Miami, and Alabama are the top 10.
Miami lost, right?
Yes.
So there are 2 teams in the top 10 undefeated.
Indiana and Oregon.
Correct.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
You know what you said in week 1 that everybody will have one loss is coming, because Oregon still has to play
Ohio State at least,
right? Or Michigan or Penn State.
And so does Indiana. They're in the
I
Big
think
Ten.
Indiana plays Ohio State this weekend.
Yeah. BYU's a fun story because it's a Mormon school. The following segment has been brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Sports Ball Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.